I'm Rosh from Energy Matters. Welcome to our podcast, Road to Zero, where we dive headfirst into all things renewable. Join us as we chat with industry experts, tech specialists, and some of your favorite TV and radio personalities, asking the renewable energy questions you want answers to. Our goal, a zero carbon future. In today's episode, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Teresa Romanovsky, who is the Managing Director for Careers for Purpose. How are you, Teresa?
I'm good. Yourself, Rosh?
I am very well. Did I pronounce your surname correctly?
Romanovsky, yes, you got that right. Yeah.
Fantastic. I know. I can't even pronounce my own surname, so
don't make me say it.
About letters. No, I won't. Don't worry. We're going to put you through that. Teresa, it's lovely to chat to you. Obviously, we've spoken many times before.
Yeah.
But I think you're definitely the lady in the know for my industry, given that you specialize in recruitment and especially looking for people in our industry, I should say. So anyone listening or watching today and considering a change in job, this is the podcast you want to be listening to, because we're going to delve in deep about how you can find your dream job. And any of my peers who lose staff as part of this process, I apologize in advance. Teresa will help you recruit their replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Just go full circle.
Absolutely. It's a good goal, right? There's plenty of talent out there for everyone. Before we get into that, though, Teresa, and obviously we're here to shamelessly talk about our TV show, Energy Matters, which is on live on Saturday at 4 p.m. on 9 Live, featuring Careers for Purpose. We'll talk about that as well. But first and foremost, Teresa, just a little bit background about yourself, your career to date, and what led you to start Careers for Purpose.
Sure. Well, I've been in recruitment 25 years now. So actually 26 years this year. So I started last century, just in last century. So I'm a career recruiter. I've been doing this a very long time. I've worked with all sorts of different companies and teams and sizes of companies, big and very small. And a familiar story to probably many, I was a COVID redundancy in a senior leadership role in 2020. And when recruitment fell off a cliff that year, along with a lot of other things, I found myself out of work and couldn't get a job, basically. It was a really tough time and no one was hiring recruiters, that's for sure. And I sort of came to the conclusion, after some prodding from lots of other people as well, to start my own recruitment business. And I decided, well, if I am going to do that, it's got to be in something that I believe in and that I'm passionate about. And I'd never worked in renewables or sustainability or environment or any of these sectors before. So it was a big leap of faith in myself to be able to start this up from scratch, from absolute ground zero, with no clients, no candidates, no branding, nothing. But, it was the only way I felt that I could make a real business for myself, by being, fully in and passionate about the types of people I'm going to be talking to. Otherwise, I would have just gone and worked for someone else. So I needed to have that extra drive to do it. So yes, after a bit of research and going out to market and talking to lots of people about my idea about, being this ethical recruiter, this mission and values aligned recruiter, couldn't really find anybody that was really positioning themselves in the market like that. I got an overwhelming response to absolutely go for it. So I did. And then 2021, I started the business. In fact, almost 4 years ago, it was the 1st of March, 4 years ago.
Absolutely fantastic. I actually started as CEO of Energy Matters the year before that, so March 2020, just as COVID happened. So very first day of COVID lockdown was my very first day on the job. So as you can imagine,
wow.
Energy Matters evolved as a result of COVID.
Yeah, there we go. We've got two beautiful businesses out of COVID.
Absolutely. And look, I absolutely, understand everything you've just been speaking about. My wife's in career transition for the Adecco Group, or LHH. And she's told me the last 3 to 4 years, obviously COVID has impacted it, but it's been a really, really challenging time in the industry for both, employers and employees.
Absolutely,
I know some really amazing people out there who are really struggling to find their next role. So with that in mind, what differentiates Careers for Purpose from other recruitment agencies out there?
We're highly specialised, and where we may work. You've probably heard of contingent recruitment, which is usually placement fee on success. So we don't get paid until we place that person. That's obviously one of the cheaper options for a client, but it doesn't really lock us in from a partnership point of view. And then you've got retained search, where you're sort of more locked in. They pay a little bit of money up front, and you lock in your recruiter, and you're exclusive with each other. We actually run really all of our recruitment projects, whether they're retained or not, like a retained search. And I think that's our big differentiator, because a lot of our clients are looking for quite unique skill sets. And they're not the types of people that necessarily just going to respond to an advert. So we spend our time constantly, out in the market, networking with our candidate base or our potential candidate base. And, lots of people want to transition into these sectors. So as soon as we start talking about what we represent, candidates are like, yeah, I'm on board. How do I get into that? How do I do that? What do I need to do? Or I'm already on that pathway. What opportunities can you open for me? Because when you go out to market and you apply for a job, and the market at the moment is insane, you're getting hundreds of applicants for every single job out there. It's crazy. And so as a hiring manager, even if it's a senior or very, unique skill set role, and they're going through 200 applicants, if you happen to be applicant number 25 or 50 or 100, you're just not going to get looked at. So it's a really challenging landscape for candidates at the moment for that. So we offer that service of, where we're connected directly to the client, or we actively market you to our client base. We've got direct access to those hiring managers. We can pick up the phone and speak to that hiring manager and say, look, we've got somebody that hasn't applied for your job, that's in the market, that matches your skill set. Are you interested in looking at them? I've pre-qualified them for you. And when they're looking at 200 CVs sitting in their inbox, and they're trying to run a business, that's the clincher to go, look, okay, well, if you can support us, they're not to say they're not going to look at any of their ad response, but if we can provide, we generally can provide 3 to 5 candidates that are pre-qualified to their needs, and all they got to do is interview them and pick the best one. It's a huge time saver, and time, as you know, Rosh, is money. Absolutely. So, yeah.
I mean, I've done various companies I've run in the past. I mean, I had a team of 800 people around the country, and we, in each particular state, we may have 60 to 80 employees. And to go through the process of recruiting for a role, it could take you like a full week. I mean, when you break down the process of placing an ad on Seeker and Indeed, then getting those applications coming through, as you said, just spending that time going through hundreds of resumes to get your shortlist. And then booking interviews back to back, which means you're not doing your normal job. You're just spending your time interviewing. I mean, it's important you have to find the right candidate. But, oh, my God, I mean, seriously, it's so debilitating as well when you're trying to you've got other functions to your role. So it really sounds to me that the service you offer is an absolute game changer. And really, I know if I was a hiring manager, I'd rather actually speak to someone like yourself to say, look, we've got this role. We need candidates. Who do you recommend? Because you're really generally going to want to go by the recommendation. So certainly it sounds like you're on the winning ticket in terms of the services you're offering, which is fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit more about the services that you offer?
So we have a range of services. So traditional contingent recruitment, like I mentioned earlier. So, we take on your role, we take a thorough job brief, we meet the relevant stakeholders that are involved, in either managing that job or hiring for that job, and make sure we fully understand, because you are more than your CV, a piece of paper. Your job is more than just a job advert or a job description. So there's a lot more that we want to delve into to understand all those nuances. And that time spent up front with us, half an hour of your time, really makes the difference in us matching the exact people that you're looking for. So once we've done that, we can go out and do our search. So whether that be contingent, as I say, success, fee on success, or whether that be a retained search where we've organised a part payment up front and are doing long lists and short lists. So they're the sort of traditional recruitment services that have been around for a long time. But we have a couple of other services that we've tacked onto that for different needs of different businesses. So one of them is talent as a service, or TAS for short, and that's particularly for companies that are looking to hire multiple people. So maybe you're setting up a new team, you're building a new, you've launched a new office in a new location, and you need to hire your entire team there. It's for that volume. So we cater for a much more reduced fee over a period of time. So rather than you hiring an internal talent acquisition person, which is a full-time wage plus taxes plus super plus all the other costs that come with that, plus all the tools you've got to buy, like LinkedIn Recruiter and various other tools for them to be able to function as your TA. Rather than spending all that outlay, we're essentially your outsourced TA function. So we do a much reduced cost on a per placement fee, but also less cost than you hiring your own internal talent, particularly if you don't need one longer term. So yeah, we're basically an outsourced talent service function. So that's good for volume hiring that you're doing over a short period of time or ongoing. And then we also have talent consulting. So other end of the scale, if you're a startup business or you have your own internal talent, but it's not functioning well, and you want to bring in some external advice. As I mentioned, I'm 26 years in this industry now. I've managed, volume hiring, executive search, all areas of certainly white collar recruitment, large scale contract and on hire recruitment, as well as permanent. So I've got a lot of knowledge there around setting up talent functions. So, but it is particularly good for startup businesses who are founders, where they have built these amazing products and services, who are super intelligent, doesn't make them good at hiring, right? So that's where I can step in and help them for a small consulting fee, help them set up their own internal recruiting processes so that they get the hire right first time. Because a mishire, as you may know, I mean, we've all done it, is very expensive. And if you're a startup in particular, that is a cost you cannot afford to lose. So it's setting up, how you interview, how you advertise, how you present your brand in the market when you're not known as a name, how you phone screen to get the right candidates through the funnel, interviewing techniques, interviewing training, managing offers, onboarding, and then retaining those staff. So there's a whole raft of consulting services that we can provide, and that's something that I personally do, due to obviously my experience in the industry. And then one other thing that is kind of a new launch for us, we haven't got it on our website yet, is board search. So we get approached a lot by candidates to say they'd love to be on boards of, purpose-driven organizations. And so we've kind of got this pool of talent, but we haven't done anything with it. So it's something we want to launch soon to help businesses that want to bring in boards, non-executive board people, and tap into our candidate network to be able to do that. So that's five things I can do for you.
Right, it sounds like you can do a lot more than that, but even in some of those five components, I mean, that is so much that you guys offer internally as an organisation. So very diverse, and some of the things that just jumped at me straight away. I've known various organisations that need to build maybe a sales and marketing function or an operational structure. They've just been taken over or acquired, or launched a new area of their business.
Yeah.
And to be able to sort of fill a whole team, I mean, that is a challenge. So it certainly appears to me that you're the right fit. And there's a whole bunch of mass redundancies going on every single day. So a lot of people are finding themselves out of work. So really inside of that, would you say that your two typical types of customers are the businesses that you're recruiting on behalf of, or assisting with their sort of recruitment processes, and then the candidates also represent another type of your customer?
That's right. So the glory of recruitment is we essentially have two sets of customers, just to make it that extra complicated. So yeah, fun times. It's a roller coaster in recruitment because either one of those customers could say no, change their mind. All sorts of things can happen that can derail a recruitment process. So yes, but both are equally as important. Whilst the client, the hiring manager, is the one that pays our fee, we don't get that fee unless we find the right candidate and the right candidate wants to work with them. So both are equally as important to each other. Yeah.
No, fair call. And look, what's super exciting about everything you just described is we're going to be featuring a snippet of it on television this Saturday on 9 Life at 4 p.m. Energy Matters is the name of our TV show, aptly named. And look, we're super excited for this particular segment. It was hosted by my good buddy and co-host, James Treble, who is an absolute barrel of fun and just such a great speaker as well. So before we continue about your thoughts and your what you got from the show, we're just going to play a short clip.
Awesome. If I'm able to marry, my passions and bring that through into my business, the client started to see that there was an authenticity there, so that I actually believed in what they believe in, and through that I can identify the right talent because I know that extra green skills that they're looking for when they're hiring. Getting the candidates has been much easier because they flock to us, because so many people, like Travis said, so many people want to find purpose in their job. You're in your job 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week. You want to do that with something that you feel is meaningful and you're contributing to something more than just someone's bottom line.
That was awesome. Okay, so Teresa, what do you reckon?
It's so good. I can't wait to see it for real. And James was so much fun as well. We had a great time filming that. So thank you.
Oh, look, he was absolutely blown away and delighted to come and meet you. And obviously you had some special guests there as well, which is awesome. So you obviously enjoyed filming the TV show?
Yeah, definitely. And my clients also did as well. They were very happy to take part. It was so lovely to have their support. And also an opportunity for them to spruik, their businesses as well that are all part of this, energy transition. So yeah, it was a win-win all round.
Oh, that's fantastic. Why do you think it's important for viewers to watch the show?
It's important that we speed up this renewable transition. We're not making change quick enough. Every single person has a part to play, and that's where coming back to my passions for creating my business, it was born out of what can I do, and so when I was starting my business, what am I passionate about? These are all the things I'm passionate about as an individual, recycling everything to the nth degree that I can possibly recycle, being a conscious consumer, trying to look for things without excessive packaging, try not to take too much air travel, all those things that I can actually choose to do. Well, every single one of us has that choice. So, whilst you can't do everything, just because you can't do everything doesn't mean you can't do something. And every something is another step towards a better future. So whether it be putting solar on your rooftop, buying an electric vehicle, everything comes with obviously knock-on effect issues as well. They also need to be solved, like solar panel recycling and, how we mine for solar for electric vehicle batteries and things like that. How do we set up the grid transmission line, that we're going to need for this transition in Australia? We're a big country. So there's a lot of problems to, continue to overcome, but we can all play our own small part. And until we actually all do, that movement's really not going to surge forward. But of course, government needs to be on board, and be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months with that as well.
Yes, they do, government. Yes, they do. You summed that up perfectly. I mean, really, I should have you as promo for the show. I mean, absolutely, I couldn't have said it better myself. And look, really, on what Teresa's just said, 100%. I mean, like, it's not everyone has the right building or to have solar power. Not everyone has the ability to buy an EV or has the financial means to buy one. And at the same token, you don't have to have your home listed with solar panels. Of course, I'd prefer every home and every building in Australia to have solar panels and a battery to support it, when there's a power cut or potentially for nighttime and early morning use. But fundamentally, just by making small changes to your day-to-day life, like Teresa said, with recycling or packaging that you're using, different greener choices, it means you'll have a huge impact. It's the collective effect of the many that will cause us to achieve our goals and to reduce global warming. And more so, sort of prepare ourselves for, like, we're seeing some crazy weather already, and it's only going to get wilder, right? So we need to give our scientists and the brains trust in every single country around the world time to understand how they can help navigate, our human life and really what sort of lies ahead for us, in line with what's going to be happening to our climate. So absolutely fantastic, Trace. You've nailed it. So can't wait to see you on there. I was told you're a proper TV star, so we're gonna we'll see. I'll be there watching, eat my popcorn, watching you on screen.
Yes, I know. I can't wait.
Very cool. And the final thing before we finish up, can you reveal any secrets about what's in the pipeline for Careers for Purpose? Is there any exclusives you can give me on this podcast?
Oh, any exclusives? Look, I think
the board one's one of them, isn't it?
The board one is one of them, yes. So really want to get that launching up on the website so it's clear and start putting that out to the market as well. And, even the talent as a service, the TAS, is something I talk about, but I probably don't promote enough. So going to do a lot more in that space. But just general growth, so I've got my colleague Travis, we really want to build out the team to focus more niche into all of those different areas so that become a true expert, because renewable energy, could be 8 or 10 different niches in itself. And we try to be as much as what we can to people. And I believe, a very strong believer, a good recruiter can recruit anything if you have the right relationships and the right partnerships with the right clients, and they trust you to do that. But being, niche as well, which we are, but you can dig that down even deeper and deeper. So as we build out the team, we'll hopefully have more people that can be just that extra bit specialized and really sort of know their markets really well. And we're also hoping we might win an award at the end of the month at the Champion Small Business Awards. So I don't know, we're finalists, so who knows?
No, we're not trying to influence the judging here, but if you're judging, you've seen this podcast, watch this week's episode, and make your own choices. But global winners, I'd say. Look, Teresa, thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate it, and I look forward to watching your episode this week.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thanks, Rosh. Good to see you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, guys, you heard it here first. If you're looking for work or you're looking to hire, Careers for Purpose should be your first port of call. I know a few people that have just been made redundant in the last couple of weeks in my industry and are looking for new opportunities. So, if you guys are actually watching or listening today, you should definitely be giving Teresa a call and booking in some time to go and have a conversation with her. I certainly will be in the future. Hopefully I'll be at NGMAT for many years to come, but we'll see. But really, it's a great opportunity to get involved in our industry. If Australia is to become a green superpower, like we have the potential to become, we need amazing people in this industry. We need, some absolutely brilliant minds. And, we're lucky that we've got some incredible people in this country, some very talented people that really could add so much value to the renewables and the overall energy industry as we transition to net zero and beyond. So, if anyone's, looking for a career change or has been considering something a little bit different and wants to be involved in this industry, you should reach out and just have a conversation, because you never know where it will lead. To hear about more, find out more about Careers for Purpose, obviously tune in this week to our TV show. It's going to be at 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's on 9 Life. So you'll enjoy, the show's amazing. It's vibrant, it's fun, some incredible projects as well. So really tune in, check it out, and you'll be able to identify how you can both reduce your carbon footprint as well as saving money on your energy bills in the process. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for your time today. I do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you next time. All the best.